Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Paulio Jr. And in today's video, what I really wanted to emphasize was basically the potential um, of your gross earnings doing Lyft right now, especially during COVID-19, because the demand is so much higher than the supply. And all that means is that there are way more passengers looking for rides than there are actual drivers that are available. And the screen that I'm sharing with you right now is just a screenshot from my phone. It isn't anything crazy. And what Lyft has been trying to do, they've been trying to incentivize people to work, even just a couple hours a day, do, as you can see here, do 3 rides in a row and make between 12 to $18 just for doing those 3 rides. And so you see here, this one right here, it says $18 free between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. So as long as you pick up the first person by 11, that's when your streak starts. And then you can just stop right after you have done the 3 rides. And, so you're getting your streak bonus plus whatever the rides are. But once you've completed the 3 rides, if it still hasn't hit 12 yet, and you pick up another passenger before 12, then you can start that streak over again and obviously pick up 2 more people after that and get a $36 streak plus whatever the amount is that the passenger that Lyft is charging the passenger as well. So there's a lot of really lot of good incentives for driving for Lyft right now and not putting in a hell of a lot of time and also making a decent amount of money, a lot more money than you would with unemployment, and a lot more money than, to be honest with you, than a lot of other people are making at the moment, and just even pre-COVID. So the next thing I'm going to share with you is this fun little Excel sheet that I came up with here. Now we're going to do a new share. We're going to go into I called it Lyft stats. And what I've done here is I have broken down what how much you would make if you were just doing these rides that offered streak bonuses. So, and that is what I was doing. So, and the long story short is I'm just providing the information right now on what you can do to actually make a decent amount of money right now during COVID, because there are not a lot of drivers coming back. There are not a lot of people signing up. So, uh, but anyway, we'll keep my opinions out of it. It is what it is. So, but so what you're looking at here is, so what I just showed you was a slot for the streaks during Wednesday, and all I've done is organize that into this Excel sheet. So you see the time slot 11 and 12, and then how many streaks, for you get $18 for doing 3 rides in a row between 11 and 12. I put the average ride amount that you would make as $8. So meaning that you would make approximately $24 within that, plus the streak bonus. So you'd make approximately $24 plus the $18, and that comes out to a total of $42. Now, so what you can actually do is, when you are on your way to the third passenger, is you can sign off, or after you've picked up the third passenger, you can actually just sign off the app, and as soon as you pick them up, or as soon as you have picked them up, you'll see that you have received the streak bonus of whatever it is, $12, $15, $18. So this is the first time I've actually been seeing it at $18 for doing 3 rides in a row. And if you are driving somewhere that is relatively populated, you will just continue to get rides and rides and rides because, like I said, there are way too many passengers and not enough drivers. That's just how it is. People are just not coming back to work. So what I want to show you, like I said, is the potential here. So in this Excel sheet, what I'm showing you is, so what you see in the yellow is just a typical streak, and it's it's an hour-long slot, an hour-long time slot or shift, whatever you want to call it. But there have been times in the past where, let's say I did an 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. shift, and I signed off after doing my 3 rides. I made approximately $42 and I would be done with it. But it would be, sometimes it would even be like 11:30, and I would be totally done after a half an hour. And that's why up here you see the total amount you make is equal to or less than 1 hour of work. So, and that's what this that's what these yellow fields entail. Now, the green fields entail that same time slot. So let's say that you do get done, let's say you work an 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. shift that is offering a streak. You do 3 rides in a row, you get $18. You've done your 3 rides and you're seeing, hey, I still have a half hour or 20 minutes left before it hits 12 o'clock. So as long as you accept that first ride before 12 o'clock, a new streak will start. So that's where you will get an extra $18. And that's what this highlighted green field is. And that's why it says extra 3 rides. So, and what we're doing is this would be the total that you would make. You would make $36 from the streak because you're getting 6 rides instead of 3. The average, we're still doing the average ride is $8, and that can always fluctuate. It can be less, it can be more. And then after 6 rides in the green, it comes out to after 6 rides average, you would make roughly $48 on top of your streak bonus. So, which comes out to $84. Now, none of this is including tips. It is not including surcharges, and it is not including like hot areas or really busy areas of wherever you are working. So this total here, this $126 total, is very, that's probably the least amount that you would make in approximately an hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit longer than an hour. And then once you're done with the time period of doing the streaks, you can just sign off, do what you got to do, and then sign on when the next streak starts. So this is typically how it's been going. You see an 11 to 12, you see a 1, 11 to 12, then you see a 1 to 2, and then you see a 3 to 4, and there's a 9 to 10 and 11 p.m. 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. A lot of numbers floating around here. So now, let's say that you do decide, you know what, I'm going to do the bare minimum. And the bare minimum is doing 3 rides and signing off. So when you are doing that, if they're giving you $18, then on average, you're going to make closer to $42 if your average ride is $8. So it could be more, it could be less. And again, that is without tips and without surcharges or hot areas. But if you do want to continue to go, and I suggest that you only do this when there are streets available. That's when you will obviously make the most money. And like I said again, so this comes out to roughly 5 hours a day, which is nothing. There's nothing. It's nothing, and there's plenty of time in between to chill, to relax, to go do something else, whatever it is that you want to do. Or even if you're close to home, you can stop by your house and just wait there until the next street time starts. So if you did the 11 to 12, the 1 to 2, the 3 to 4, then you have time to chill until the 9 to 10 and the 11 p.m. to midnight one. So the bare minimum, what you see is the yellow. Anything in the yellow is bare minimum. Anything you see in the green is if you are able to pick up, after you've done those first 3 rides, you're able to pick up another passenger before that time slot, before it's past that time slot. So if it's 11 to 12, like I said, if you pick up somebody at 11:59, it still counts, and you can continue that streak to get another $18. Sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 15. I've been seeing 12 and 18 a lot, at least on the Lyft app. So, and okay. So let's just say you are doing the green. You do want to make, a decent amount of money. You want to hit these streaks and so forth. And if you're in, like I said, if you're in a populated area, you can probably do those 6 rides in a row, and they're not super far away from each other. Then you could probably knock them out in roughly an hour, maybe a little bit longer than an hour, if all the rides are pretty close together. And that's, like I said, on average, you would make about $126. And that's in roughly an hour. It could be, like I said, it could be a little bit longer than an hour, but roughly, if all the passengers are pretty close to each other and traveling in the same area. So, and I put little side notes on here. So when you've finished at the end of the night, you've picked up, let's just say that you decided, yeah, I'm going to do the extra 3 rides because I've picked up my first 3 rides, and it's not time, the time slot hasn't ended. So you say, okay, I'm going to pick up 3 more rides. And then the streak starts over. You pick up those 3 rides. When you are on your way, or when you do pick up that last ride, that's when I would personally select, sign off after this ride. And obviously when you pick them up, it'll say, here's your $18 streak bonus. So when I drop them off, then I do destination mode, but I don't use it as far as like get me rides along the way, because it is super busy, and Lyft will take you out of the way to a certain extent to continuously grab passengers. So what you want to do is use that destination mode, but do it on the arrive on time option. So if you are about a half hour away from your house, then maybe make it, 45 minutes to an hour tops as far as the arrive on time option goes. This way it's not taking you super far. It won't take you super far out of your way, and most likely you'll get a ride or 2 on your way home as well. And that's just for driving home. So now we're looking at the figures down below. So that is roughly a 5-hour day, whether you look at it as uh, the yellow or the green. The green will just have more, you're more likely to work a little bit over an hour with the green selections. With the yellow selections, you're pretty much almost guaranteed to work less than an hour to an hour on the dot. So, depending on where you are and depending what the passengers are doing. So, you would see in a single day, if you have worked 5 of those streak shifts, you would make approximately $200. Again, that's without tips, without surcharges and so forth. So hopefully you would get some tips, you would get some surcharges, and you would be in some kind of hot spot. So now, if you were so bold and you decided, you know what, I'm gonna do these extra 3 rides, um, and get this extra streak money and get the extra uh, ride money from each passenger, then you're looking around $600 for maybe, and it says equal to or greater than 5 hours. So about $600 gross pay, um, for maybe a little 5 hours to a little bit over 5 hours. Now that hourly rate comes out to, again, this is all rough, this is all without tips and so forth, comes out to $118.80. $118.80 an hour is what it comes out to if you are doing 6 rides in a row during those streak shifts. So, which, yeah, the hourly rate is not bad at all. And that day is not bad at all. Almost, roughly $600 is not bad at all. So you would be giving 30 rides, at that rate, making that much. So, or you could just do the bare minimum and make approximately, $200 a day, which still isn't bad. And you're not eating up this huge chunk of your day. You're just kind of going in and out. Um, you know, like when I was doing it before, all I would do is I would do 3 rides and then I'd go stop somewhere and then I'd go back out in an hour. So, but if you really want to go and make some money, then you would do those 6 rides so you can get those streaks back to back. So obviously, just reiterating, the yellow is basically your bare minimum on what you would make, and then the green is essentially the max you would make. And the green is what we are really looking at here. And so if you were to work, let's just say, if you were to work 7 days a week at 5 hours a day, the bare minimum you would make is almost $1,400. Bare minimum. Bare minimum. And that's equal to or less than 35 hours. Probably less than 35 hours. If you were doing 6 rides in a row and work 35 hours a week, then you would make at least $4,150. So, and it would be a little bit more than 35 hours, but if you don't mind driving and you like those bonuses as far as the streaks go, then hey, more power to you. So those still are not difficult, but the yellow is just like the bare minimum. Hey, let me get my 3 rides and leave. Let me get my 3 rides and leave. And eventually you will get tips. Eventually you will get a surcharge in your benefit, in your favor after that. So, and I have these I will share this with you guys just so you can look at it. And so this is something really cool. If you're 52 weeks in 1 year, if you did the bare minimum with Lyft during streak rides, you would make over $72,000 a year. And if you did the 6 rides in a row every day for, roughly a little bit more than it would, not 5 hours at a time, but a little bit more than 5 hours total out of your entire day, you would gross over, now you would definitely gross over $216,000, which is incredible, incredible. That's working 7 days a week. And then you see I've organized it as far as if you work 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, and we've already seen the 1 day over here. So yeah, 1 day, the minimum is 200, the maximum is 600. So, and if you were planning on doing this full time right now, because COVID is going to last for a while, unfortunately, and there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to want to work or be in the vicinity of other people, then you're going to have a really good shot at making some really decent money. Just make sure you're driving carefully. You have to have a mask. I would have a mask for other passengers, just in case. Have hand sanitizer, water, all that good stuff. Make sure the car is cleaned. It's pretty common sense stuff. So I make sure I have hand sanitizer, water, clean masks if they need them. Most of the passengers that get in have their own masks, and you can actually get one of those chargers that has every charger on it. And so whether it's iPhone, the new Android, the old Android, whatever it is, or even the old iPhone, all of the chargers are on that single cable, basically. So I'll put a link in the description for that. And then even where you can go to get like bulk face masks and bulk sanitizer, that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'll put a link in the description for this Excel page. I'm just writing that down. Easy peasy. So the potential for Lyft, and then what they actually release, they update the streaks almost every day. So there are definitely at least a couple of streaks a day. Now, you do not have to do this. You don't have to go crazy and work 7 days a week. And that's not even that crazy, to be honest with you. 7 days a week where you're working maybe, a little bit more than 35 hours a week would come out to $216,000. Now, there's some people out there who work 5 days a week and, are working 40 to 60 hours and aren't even coming close to what we see here, $185,000. So now the one good thing about Lyft is that you do not need, I thought I did it first, but I do not, you don't need a mileage tracker app, because Lyft tracks everything that you are doing while you are online with Lyft. And then you can also, I have a little note here, obviously Lyft and TurboTax have a deal where you can do your 1099s for free on TurboTax. And so you don't need to keep track of, you don't need to keep track of your mileage because Lyft does it. You don't need your gas receipts because you can only use gas receipts or you can use mileage. And mileage that you get is way higher than, per mile than what your gas would come out to. So, but yeah, this is actually very, very simple. And like I said, there'll be a description in here. But long story short, while COVID is going on, then you have potential to really not do too much and make a pretty significant amount off of Lyft. So I will put my referral link in the description. That way that uh, you can get, if you are so inclined to do Lyft. Most of the I've most of my experiences with Lyft are extremely pleasant, and I've had, out of all the rides that I've had, I can't even think of one off the top of my head where I've said, man, this person was just a pain in the butt, and I can't do this anymore. I've had that with Uber, but I've never had that with Lyft personally. So everyone's pretty polite. The conversations are good, or they're either just listening to their headphones, which is no big deal. So, but yeah, if you want to make a pretty decent amount of money without working and an exorbitant amount of hours, then, and you're not too worried about your car, because obviously you will put some wear and tear on the car, then I would highly suggest signing up for Lyft, especially during COVID, when the demand is so freaking high, and the drivers, it feels like, are almost non-existent. So, but yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope some of these that some of these stats were and analytics were helpful to you. Like I said, I mean, even if you only worked 2 days a week, you could make, you could make 62,000, if not more, a year. So it's pretty unbelievable. 3 days a week, you're getting close to $100,000. So it's definitely worth it. It's 100% worth it, even if you just want to do the um, you know just doing the 3 ride streaks and then being done with it, and then going home after that. So you do a couple of them. You don't have to do all 5 a day, and sometimes there's more than 5. But you could even just do 2 or 3 a day, which is 2 to 3 hours out of your entire day to make, you know, um, what you would call, at least, you know, at least 100 to 150 bucks. So, and then once you start adding on tips and hot spots and surcharges that you get, then all this. I had to make this as basic as possible and like the minimum that you would get. But all the numbers that you see here are definitely uh, undervalued. So, yep. So green is where to go, but yellow is what you want to do if you want to make if you want to do the bare minimum and still make some decent money. So, all right, that is all I have. I hope this video did help you. And like I said, there'll be a link in the description for this Excel sheet itself, for hand sanitizer, water, masks, and the all-in-one charger. So everything will be in the description. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for watching, and stay safe out there. All right, I'll see you in the next one.